Welcome to the video series, How to Build Your Food Truck with me, Frank Valterra, where step by step we build out your future food truck or your food trailer. And in today's video, we're going to be working on the plumbing, a very critical part of the build, being that we're going to connect the waste tanks down here. We're going to connect the waste, the drain pipes. I have all my plumbing fittings ready to rock and roll right there. We're going to be connecting also the supply lines that feed the water and the hot water into the hand sink, the 3-compartment sink. I got my little faucet ready to rock and roll. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'm Frank Valterra, and I've been helping you out build your food truck on all the previous videos before this one with the walls, the outlets, the switches, the lights, the hood, the window, everything you need to know on how you can build your own food truck in your driveway or wherever you have it parked. That's where you can build it. Again, the best way to reach me is to comment on the videos, because I try to my best to do everything step by step where you guys can follow along and do it yourself. But maybe I missed something that's very critical to your build that you need a little bit more explanation. Make sure you drop that question in the comments. That's the best way to reach me, because I answer each and every one myself. Again, thank you for watching, for subscribing. Now let's get started right away on this food truck plumbing right up here. And also make sure if you have any questions or you need somebody local to come check out your work because you're unsure or you have a leak or something like that, make sure you call them. Make sure that you do your due diligence in your work, especially in the gas lines, because it's all connected kind of to the plumbing, because plumbers usually do the gas lines, but I kind of do it here myself. But I guide you in step by step on how to do it, and I haven't had any issues with it. So I just want to make sure I share my knowledge with you, make sure that disclaimer's there, that if you guys have any issues or if you guys have any questions that are beyond what I can help you in a video, make sure you contact somebody locally and they can come out and help you out. So again, Frank Valterra, let's get started right away. Let's not lose any more time, and let's start with this plumbing back here. Alrighty, so to give you an update, I have my 3-compartment sink that I installed here yesterday. It's just installed, like, not plumbed, as you can see there, but it is installed in the place where it's going to go. And I do this strategically because underneath here, I put my 2 water tanks. They're undermount style tanks. And I like these because it gives you enough clearance to be able to put the plumbing and drain it. And this one specifically, the little one, which is your fresh water tank, has a lip. So it catches on that leg and it kind of holds it in place. And over here, I put an L bracket as well. So all these tanks are nice and secure. I haven't secured the legs, just so you know. And I do this every single time on every single of the food trucks that I've built. I put these foot flanges. But you can see that the actual foot flange, this part right here, is up. And that's because I need that extra height to be able to get the plumbing to be able to fall like a downhill, to be able to land inside that waste tank right back there. And I also installed the hand sink. These are pretty basic installs, so that's why I didn't cover them in detail. You just kind of set them in place. And this one is about 45.5 inches from the floor up is where that screw is right there. And this one's a little bit lower, the hand sink, just so it can fit underneath. And as you can see, it like fits perfectly. Look at that, like measurement. It's like ridiculously cool. That's why I keep doing them the same way. But that's what I'm doing right now. I did buy a couple things at Home Depot. I'll take you on a trip real quick on my trip to Home Depot yesterday and show you exactly what I bought in the plumbing section. I am going to work on one thing really fast, and that's shoot out a hole right here, boop, right out for my gas propane line, my, what do you call it? My propane regulator, my changeover. I'm going to shoot that hole right there with the hole saw. So let me get working on that right now. It gets a little nerve-wracking here when you're drilling into your trailer. You're like, oh my gosh, did I put it in the right spot? So that's why I kind of put the water tanks first. So it gives me a good height visual of where I need to be able to drill this with the hole saw for the gas line. So this is what I use to control all my propane. This is the Fairview propane changeover regulator. Quite a mouthful there. It's the model number GR9984XF. And then this little bracket called almost like a Z bracket, I think they call it. You have to order it separate and then put some screws right there. I suggest don't put real thick screws because it can crack that little gray part right there. So that's how this part is gonna look. And then this is a 3/8 output, because that's gonna go towards your food truck. And then these are the little flare whips. I'll connect the ones that I use. I'll share them here in the links. But that's a 3/8 output. So you have to order, I ordered it from Grainger, a 3/8 to 3/4 inch 90. Let me see if I find it here so you guys can, it's almost like this, but one side is 3/4 and one side is 3/8. And I've only found those at Grainger to order there. So let me see if I find it real quick. I know it's here. Here it is, just so you guys can see it. Reducing elbow 90 degrees, 3/4 to 3/8. And that's exactly how it looks, just as I showed you. But I got this from Grainger. So just so you know, I got this from Grainger. There it is. That's how you connect from the crossover, the changeover, over to the food truck. Let's walk into Home Depot. Let me show you exactly what I buy for the plumbing on these 3-compartment sinks, because that's and the gas lines as well. That's where I buy all my stuff from Home Depot. So let me walk in that aisle, which is right, and let's get right to it. One of my favorite stores. They take thousands and thousands of my pennies and dollars. So let me see, where are we? We need 1.5 inches. All right, so you're gonna need some of these. Where are they? It's these bad boys. It's actually these, but this is not the right one. You need 1.5 inches. Where are they here? Because sometimes they run out of stuff and you have to run to a different Home Depot or Ace Hardware. And I do not see them. They're running low on stuff here. Oh my gosh. Home Depot, you are letting me down. For the viewers, not good. We will need a 10-foot stick of 1.5 PVC, so we can pick that up for sure. Let me get a clean one if they have one here. So it's 1.5 inches. Where's the measurement on here? Well, that's 1.25 inches, so that's not that one. There we go. 1.5 inches is what we need. So just get the full stick, because it's probably cheaper to buy the full stick than it is to buy the like a 3-footers at the same time. So there it is. How much is this? $13.46 for 10 feet of it. That's how much this is. So this is the bad boy that you need. It's a 1.5 inch male adapter, and that's gonna go right on there. If you can see on the tanks right there, that's exactly where they go. One on that side, one on that side. And then we're gonna need one more back there, and that's gonna be for the like the main drain, the waste that goes there. You're gonna need all these fancy critters right here, the Sanitary Tee. You're gonna need this one right here, which is a sink tailpiece. What else do we got in here? And then this little street 90. It's a little itty bitty 90 right here. That one's gonna go right on the end right there. That's the little baby that goes there. And then we need one more thing. Let me grab it from the garage, because I bought those a while back and I have them there. Let me grab it real quick. You will need 3 of these. They're called 1.5 inch trap adapter. And on the 3-compartment, make sure that it has this kind of bottom right there where a fitting, like one of these, can actually fit inside it as such. It has to go like that. It has to. As far as I know, that's the one. But on this one, on the hand sink, since we're gonna add a PVC down, then you're gonna have it with the other type. So it's gonna be a little bit wider out, where the PVC pipe is actually gonna go inside it, instead of this one going into the fitting. So you're gonna need 3 of these, 1.5 inch trap adapter, if you're using the same kind of setup that I am, or something similar to it. But that's what we're working on, and that little gas line right there. On this next part here, we're going to be working on the 3-compartment sink on the strainers. They call it the strainer basket. What I use here is a plumber's putty, and then you kind of roll it up like this into a little ball, into like, not a little ball, I'm lying. You take it from a little ball and you turn it almost into like a little skinny snake. And I learned this trick from YouTube because I had to use it on a project that I was doing for Domino's Pizza. They wanted me to fix one of their 3-compartment sink things, and I was like, oh man, why does it keep leaking? And it's because I wasn't using plumber's putty. Something so simple but yet so effective. So you just take off the little ring, that's what I was doing here, off the strainer, and you take the little snake, and if I'm doing this incorrectly, Professional plumbers, please tell me, but so far it's worked. You kind of just, I'm gonna put a little bit more right here, but that's kind of how you set it right there. And then, as you can see here, I did this one already. You just set it right down in there, and then underneath, you grab this, almost like the lock nut of it, and then you finish up that installation. But that's kind of how I've been doing it. I put plumber's putty around the 3-compartment sink strainer, and then just set it right in there, put some force on it, and then just lock it up from the opposite end. So hopefully that helps when you're installing your strainers on your 3-compartment sink, because they do not come installed. You have to do it separately from like the factory. They just send it to you like in a little cardboard box. So hopefully that helps you out there.
So here we are working on the 3/4 inch black pipe that serves as the propane lines for the equipment. I'm going to eventually turn it into flexible gas line so it can actually feed the equipment, but this is like the main line that goes over to the fire suppression system, and then from there it feeds off to the equipment.
And here we go. This is how this bad boy looks. We have this 3/4 inch piece right here, 24 inches right there, 245-degree angle fittings, a 12-incher, and then this one I believe was 6 inches or 4 inches, one of the two. I gotta measure them right now, but that's how this little contraption is set up. And now I'll just kind of lay it in here, whoo, and see where we're at. And then I'll put the changeover in the front. So let's work on this right now. Well, I finished up this gas pipeline right here, and this is what's gonna come out. I'm gonna show you the front right now, but this comes from the regulator up front, and that one feeds all my equipments. And I did 245s right there. This one's 24 inches, 245s, 12 and a 6, a 90. And then I did a shutoff valve right there, another one. And then it's gonna come over here, and that's gonna be for the fire suppression system. I do not install my own fire suppression system. I know you guys asked this quite a bit. I hire that out. That's about the only thing I do third party, because it needs to be certified. And then they put the cylinder right there, and then they do all their fancy schmancy stuff right there. But that's what I have. And then from here, I'm gonna do a little contraption so I can feed all my equipment right there. But that's what I was working on today. And what a day. But we got quite a bit done. And next is the plumbing. So let's get ready for that. Not today, but let's get ready. So for everyone that asks, do you use PEX lines in your plumbing? I do. I use 1/2 inch red and I use 1/2 inch blue. Obviously one's for hot, one's for cold. I've never been a plumber, never really done plumbing work until I started using this PEX stuff, and it is phenomenal to work with. So that's just wanted to give you the update that I do use PEX. I'm gonna pipe in from here the water lines, put my water heater, my water pump, the drain lines down there. This is my 3-compartment sink faucets. It always comes separate because your sink comes like that. There's the one I bought. It's 10 inches a spout. Something that really helps you out is this thing right here. It's called an installation kit, 1/2 inch. And these bad boys are lifesavers because it connects this thing right here. So it almost is like your holder for the 3-compartment sink faucet. And then this allows you to go straight down like a 90, a hard 90 like that, but it's copper. So it's really nice. This is a real nice thing to have. I didn't use it on my first food truck because I didn't even know it existed. But now that I know, it's beautiful. But that's the project for today. Again, the 3-compartment sink plumbing installation will happen today. I'm gonna, like I said, pipe in all my lines down here, and that'll be what we do. So stay tuned, because we're gonna be huffing and puffing and moving along really fast here. We're going to be using PEX, 1/2 inch PEX, and this is what we're going to be using. That's not the one, but that's what we're going to be using. PEX fittings, all the fun stuff. So let's get to it. So on here, we just use these PEX fittings, 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch female swivel elbow, which is a 90. We put the tape on there, the plumber's tape, or what do they call this, fast tape. And then we put these fittings. This is that installation kit that I told you that goes to the 3-compartment sink. I'm gonna actually install a piece of PEX that goes from right there down, and then from the right there down. And the reason I do that is because I'll have the other ends over here which makes it a lot easier to be able to install the PEX, because it's hard to get that crimper down in here. So I would like to do it all like preset, and then everything else goes over here, water heater and all that fun stuff. But that's just kind of like a little trick that I use, is run the PEX already, so then that way you don't have to crimp anything back here and just shoot it straight down. So there's my tip on the plumbing for the PEX lines behind the 3-compartment sink. I'll give you a quick rundown of what I'm doing. This is a Sanitary Tee right here, and I use that between this sink, the first one, to the second one, to the third one. What I use is, if you guys recall when I showed you my handy dandy materials, is this right here. It's a trap adapter, which fits right there, 1.5 inch trap adapter. And then make sure that it has this end right here, which is a skinnier one than the other one. And this is gonna fit right inside like that. Boop. If you guys can see, it's gonna fit just like that. And then you're gonna have these little thingamabobbers right here, which is your sink tailpiece, and that's gonna fit right there. So you just cut them out, and then you make them fit in, and then all this will kind of be like a downhill slant, and it'll fit right back there into the waste tank right there at the back. So we just take our glue right here, our PVC glue. I like to use this one. It's almost like a single step, so it cleans it, glues it, all that fun stuff. You don't have to use 2 different ones. You go here with your Sanitary Tee. You give it a couple spinneroonies, just like so. And then you put your trap adapter. Boom. And there it is. Easy as that to be able to connect this. And then you put your tail piece right in here. You cut it to be able to fit inside right there. There you guys can see right there, as we have been doing. So it's going to go like that. And then we're just gonna go to the next one right there, and that'll go into the tanks. So that's how we do that. Easy peasy.
The common question that I receive when I upload something on the plumbing on this 3-compartment sink setup is, why didn't you use P-traps? And so I don't use P-traps. That's number one. This is a setup that I saw Domino's Pizza use exactly like this. And I was like, if a $1 billion company gets approved and they don't use P-traps, then I'm not going to use a P-trap. And so far it's been good. I have gotten approved and they give me no issues from the health department. If you've never done plumbing before, it can seem overwhelming, like all these fittings, PVC, PEX, crimpers, blah, blah, blah. And it can seem a little bit hard, but to be honest, it's not that bad. And I try to set it up for you here step by step. But if you do have any questions, make sure that you drop them in the comments and I'll answer that question myself. Before I end the video, just wanted to show you here the final installation of the Fairview Changeover propane regulator. This is a little lever that you turn in case one tank goes empty. You just switch it right over. Easy, just like that. It's like a lifesaver. I love this thing. It has a very high output of BTUs for propane. Much recommended. I bought it on Amazon. I'll link it here in the description. But that's how it looks. Just make sure that you silicone right here. That way no water goes inside. But that's how it looks. And then you just buy the little flares that go to your propane tanks.